Well, hello there. How are you all doing? This is Evan or Johnny, whatever you want to call me. Thank you for tuning into this video today. Tonight, whenever it may be for you. And I'm making a second update. It's actually kind of an update to the winter update video. I was just watching it back, and, it reminded me of something that it is okay and it's totally all right to contradict yourself and also to be wrong. And boy, have I been wrong in my life, that's for sure. Right and wrong, is it subjective? Is it objective? You decide. Anyway, uh, yeah, I was listening to it back a little bit and kind of the ridiculousness of the whole cigarette and alcohol comparison. There's actually some interesting information about alcohol versus seed oils and the effects of both of them by themselves consumed, uh, like out just alcohol or just seed oils. And believe it or not, seed oils, particularly something like canola oil, corn oil, grape seed or rapeseed oil. That's a really strange word for a type of oil. But most of your common seed oils are actually much more damaging to your liver than something like alcohol. And, modern day cigarettes have 4,000 plus chemicals in them. So I totally take back what I said about cigarettes being better than alcohol. I can't even believe I said that. I think it's just my ego trying to justify doing one thing or the other. But really, when people consume alcohol, it's a lot of times not actually the alcohol itself that's doing the significant damage to the liver over time. Yes, that is true, but it's actually the food choices that most people and food choices that I have chosen in the past when you're drunk, have certain cravings towards particularly heavier carbohydrate filled foods. And a lot of times those foods are filled with seed oils, and a lot of times those foods are very highly processed and carcinogenic, which is horrible for the kidneys in particular. The kidneys filter about 50,000 gallons of blood per day. And these tiny, very, very tiny uh, little, I forgot exactly what they're called, but I guess they're less than the fraction of like a speck of dust. But they're like coiled up little tubes. And if you extend them, they extend to about an inch or two. But very highly concentrated, very tightly wound little tubes in your kidneys. They tend to be damaged from inflammatory foods that are very high in omega 6, like when the omega 6 to omega 3 ratio is very high on the omega 6 side. You're going to experience a lot of inflammation, and it's very taxing on the liver and kidneys in particular. The amount of people that are needing kidney transplants because of the fact that 95% of those little tubular things that I'm talking about have been destroyed is crazy. And people are on wait lists for kidney donations, particularly because of that fact that, the diet plans that are actually not even really that, just the way that people are consuming what they call food these days is absolutely horrible for the kidneys and the human body in general. And getting high omega 3 to omega 6 ratio foods into your diet is going to can actually reverse something like kidney disease. Once you get up to like the stage 4, stage 5, it's getting to a point where the damage is going to be very difficult to reverse, but it's better to catch it earlier than not. And stopping the consumption of seed oils, processed, refined carbohydrates and processed foods, fried foods, etc., is going to help your body to get more into a state of less inflammation. And there's some symptoms that actually I think that I've personally experienced when the kidneys are very inflamed. Itchy skin is a big one. And I have suffered from that for a long time. And I'm noticing now that I'm on a much healthier diet that my inflammation is very low compared to what it used to be. I'm eating primarily eggs, and good quality butter cooked with those eggs, very lightly cooked eggs, with the yolk still liquidy. Peanut butter shakes, now I'm starting to incorporate those as a plant-based protein. Peanut butter is one of my absolute favorite uh, little snack slash bulk foods, and lentils and rice as well. Um, I just started consuming raw garlic again today, and yeah, so foods like that. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that you can't eat a lot of eggs because of the cholesterol in it, even though the cholesterol in eggs is actually a precursor to testosterone and other healthy hormones. So this whole myth that you can only have 3 to 4 eggs a day, or not a day, sorry, a week, is fucking ridiculous. That's why I don't go to doctors or listen to doctors. I haven't been to a doctor for years. There's plenty of information out there now, plenty of testimonials, firsthand testimonials of people who have stopped listening to the bullshit that the system has fed, probably mostly well-meaning people in the so-called healthcare industry, which is not really healthcare; it's actually death care. But just profiting off of people's pain and suffering and giving them a patented uh, tiny fragment of a plant that they extract from certain plants in nature and then sell that particular constituent as a medication when they could just use the whole plant. But no, can't do that because that doesn't make money, because then people could just grow it themselves. This reminds me of something. Well, it's funny. I actually just had a dream about this the other night too. I don't know if y'all have heard of purslane before, but it's actually something that a lot of people think is just like a nuisance weed that grows and it grows vigorously and without barely any water. It's actually, I believe it's a succulent, and it can thrive in very harsh conditions, actually, with very little water. And the omega-3 content is even higher than something like salmon, which is high in omega-3s. Purslane is something that's been demonized by the current systems of so-called health. And it's something that anybody could grow, and actually you could probably just go in your backyard and find some. And there is a way to distinguish the real purslane from something that looks similar to it. I believe that the one that you don't want to consume is the one that when you cut it open, it has this milky white substance in there. And I believe that purslane it doesn't have that milky substance in there. But do some research on it. It should be fairly easy to identify. But I found it interesting that I had a dream about it where I was looking at like this gravel driveway, and I was there with somebody, and I was like looking at the ground, like instinctually looking for purslane, little purslane plants just like popping out of the gravel. You know, something that normally most plants wouldn't be able to grow in. Isn't that interesting? So look into purslane. Purslane's very versatile. It's been used for who knows how long, right? Probably hundreds, if not thousands, of years. So that's a good that see the nature really does provide everything that we do need. Uh, and that reminds me what I wanted to mention about the updating the winter update video. I do not believe that I will be going back to eating meat again. As far as like buying it for myself and doing that, I think I'm just gonna stick to doing eggs and plant-based proteins, making sure I get all my vitamins and minerals in, etc. All of that. Um, I am taking some grass-fed, grass-finished beef liver capsules, so that might be something that I'll probably incorporate. But buying like meat or beef from the store, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Um, I'd rather just stick with eggs. I've been feeling really good actually just eating eggs and the plant proteins that I've been consuming. I'm leaning out a lot, um, and I feel really good. I've been taking the high dose vitamin D3 and K2 with the eggs because they're fat soluble vitamins, and magnesium oil, transdermal magnesium oil, a couple of times a day. So far it's been a pretty good stack, as well as the raw garlic and Go-To Cola. I just started consuming again today. I've been not so good about watering plants lately, but the Go-To Cola plant is a hardy one, and it survived. Just been giving a little bit more water here and there last couple days, and it's looking pretty beautiful. So I just consumed a bit of that with my eggs and garlic and a little bit of Redmond sea salt, black pepper, apple cider vinegar, in about 8 ounces of water with two or a half a teaspoon of salt. So it's an awesome meal, and it it reminds me that I'm not a vampire because I can consume raw garlic, and I tend to crave it. I haven't actually consumed raw garlic for a while, and the second I was starting to cook the eggs and I was thinking about the garlic, my mouth was just like watering, like salivating, like, oh man, it's been too long, you know. Wards off, parasites, wards off vampires, all that good stuff. So all that on top of the coffee enemas, staying on top of detox and everything, and that's been really good. Coffee enemas, they've been a little bit difficult just because I took a decent break from them for a while. But I've been intermittent fasting as well, and staying fit still. Biking all over the place, rebounding on the mini trampoline. So it's been good. I mean, overall, it's been good. I I, I won't say that I have not had my struggles. I certainly have. Oh my god, I could get into that at some point later on, but I'm more so just focused on getting back on the old proverbial horse. So we're trucking along, we're shredding onwards, playing guitar every day, and harnessing that creative energy flow. Man, I tell you what, man, when you don't give your energy away to a fucking blue light screen, pleasuring yourself fucking all the time. I'm almost a week in now, so I there's a huge difference. I mean, when you're talking about somebody who's been doing that for years versus somebody who's never really had exposure to that, they might not really notice a difference if they, do something called semen retention or whatever. Or even if you don't necessarily release, if you're consumed with that type of content and you're even like pleasuring yourself to it, there's still an energy loss there, like edging. Some people know about that or whatever. It's always much better to have a partner to be with any of these types of things, who actually has your best interest in mind, and isn't a vampire. So make sure you consume your raw garlic before you get into a relationship, because that'll tell you a lot about the other person. That'll tell you a lot about people in general and what's going on inside of them. That's for sure. Oh yeah, raw garlic, man. It's a very powerful, very, very powerful herb. It really is. It increases testosterone, kills parasites, kills candida, uh, and it makes your breath smell wonderful. I think it does anyway. Makes you smell like a fucking garlic clove, and who doesn't want to smell like that, man? Like, who doesn't love garlic? Like, some people think, oh man, it's too much garlic. It's like, it's not enough garlic, bro. Needs garlic. Needs more. Needs garlic. Come on, get your garlic in. I guess unless you live in a crazy hot environment, it might not be the best thing. But I live in a very, well, at the moment, rather cold environment, so raw garlic is a good thing to consume at this time of year. Raw onions too. That's another good thing to consume as well. Cooked and raw, for both actually, as long as they're not overcooked, lightly cooked. They both have their uses. So, which one's better than the other? Who knows? But I think that's my little update for right now. Don't really have anything much else to say. Keep on trekking on and shredding on, y'all. I will as well leave any comments, questions, feedback, whatever you feel like commenting. Unfortunately, on my last video, I tried responding to a brother's comments, and it literally would not let me respond. It said an error occurred. It's like, go fuck yourself, okay? You can fuck yourself, okay? Yeah. Oh yeah, YouTube. It's totally YouTube, right? No, it's TheyTube. That's TheyTube now. Probably always has been, but I know a lot of people resonate with the sentiment that they miss the heydays of YouTube, the old days when it was kind of like you could almost akin it to like the Wild West internet days, where you just find crazy shit on YouTube, and it wasn't censored like it is today. I think back on it all the fucking time. And I got on YouTube pretty young, actually. I was a pretty young dude at that time. It was a fun time, it was a very interesting time. There's a lot of nostalgia around that for me, just because I grew up kind of with the internet, when it just kind of started to pop off. So some of y'all, I bet, can relate, but some people don't, and that's totally fine. Everybody has nostalgia for different things, and nostalgia, I think, is a beautiful thing, but it's kind of like a comfort zone. It's like it's a beautiful place, but nothing really truly grows there, right? So, as I feel this energy wash over me, the goosebumps are flowing. So I'm gonna get to jamming, doing something fun. I do have a little bit of red wine. Might listen to some Typo Negative, but I'm not going to go too hard with the red wine. I've learned to take it a lot slower with things like this. So we're going to enjoy responsibly on this beautiful night. So until next time, shred onwards and so forth, warriors. Stay the course.